So myself, Muhammad Nizamuddin, and I have three team members of mine, Abdul Wahid, Zishan, and Wazir. Today I'll be speaking about how can data analytics provide business value to the organizations. Introduction. Data analytics is the area has been gaining more and more space within the large company, which has been following in the main segment of information that tells manager and employees whether investment effects are generating the expected result or not. Generally, this data should put in practice with the help of software and tools that allows analyzing, organizing, collecting, monitoring data manually in practical. Impossible due to the value of information to be processed, not to mention the possible errors in the analytics can compromise result of planning. Discussions. Data analytics has not made its way into the heart of industry due to which there are very limited research on its ability. Or relatable analytics on the benefits of DA on the manufacturing process. Hence, there was a dispersion in the investigating approach to understand the same. The inception of big data analytics shows that not all types of data are the same and each has a process differently to reap the maximum benefit for the corporation. Figure 1.0 displays a framework that identifies big data analytics systems and the factors that influence the implementation of the system and changes in the performance witnessed because of it. Here is the diagram figure 1.0, which on the left-hand side, it shows BDA capabilities, and on the right-hand side, it shows readiness. I'll speak about NDA implementation, manufacturing performance. BDA consists of data provisioning, analytical capabilities, and people skills. While on the other side, readiness deals with SDA strategy, top management support, financial support, engagement people. From here, one of my friends will continue.
Good morning, sir. My name is Mohammad Abdul Wahid. So I'm actually the team leader of this presentation, but the introduction was given by one of my teammates, Nizamuddin, and he did it very well. So I'm going to go through the case study of this presentation. So it mainly includes three different manufacturing firms. And as we can read about it, it says manufacturing sector was chosen because the utilization of data analysis is budding in this sector and people are slowly starting to realize its benefit. So this stage is set for the data analysis revolution, in which large sets of data will be studied to actually predict or to examine the occurrence of future events. So a time is bound to come when these three events will be predictive in real-time nature. That means the data analysis will be helpful to predict their occurrence or chances in the real-time analysis. So all these three firms that were chosen for research have adopted data analysis, just a year difference from one another. The one of the firm adopted is a year before and the other one adopted a year after. So in terms of employee performance and revenue, all these three firms are the very best in their respective markets, because these three firms are in different markets and they perform really best after they have adopted this data analysis. But at the same time, it was ensured that the firms also have certain diversities. Moving on to the next slide, which gives us an example of, just give me a second. I'm sorry, sir. Which gives an example or a table of how these three firms started and the years in which they actually adopted data analysis. It shows that the company A was founded in 1958, which had an annual revenue of $105 million, and company 2, which was founded in 1954, had an annual revenue of $664. And the company C, which was founded in 1950, had an annual revenue of $1,116 million. But when we look into the years in which the BDA was actually implemented, the home appliances, the company C or the firm C actually started or implemented in 2014. And whereas firm B implemented in early 2014 before firm C. And firm A was actually the earliest to implement this data analysis in 2012. So as we go on to the next slide, it shows the overall review of all these three firms, like the case study, which says it was taken into account both systematic as well as interactive approaches. And a second coder to evaluate the authenticity of the open codes that were generated were also conducted. So all the conclusions were derived from the first coding were thoroughly examined and linked were established between the specified categories, patterns, and concepts were allowed to converge based on the primary data, and later subsequent categories were also introduced in these three firms. Lastly, each of these categories where each of these categories were then compared with the results across 3 cases. They were given time to assess the conclusions, like the overall development or the changes after these companies adopted the data analysis. They had the time to give the conclusions, to make improvements or changes. And once everything was verified, all the themes were merged, while they were combined together to arrive at the explanations behind each of the conclusions. Now, moving on to the next part, that's findings. My friend, my team partner, Syed Zishan, would continue over here. Yes, Zishan.
Thank you very much, Wahid. Good evening, sir. My name is Zishan Hussain Sayed, and my part is in this assignment is I will discuss you about what we have observed during this research of these 3 firms. So we have noted down the DA helped to transform their ongoing operations. We questioned them on aspects of performance management where they utilize BDA. Their response was in planning stage, schedule variance, cost discrepancy, and capacity usage. And in manufacturing procedure, there was machine efficiency, operation downtime, and reduction of waste. Next slide, please. Yes, in quality guarantee, we have seen rejected units and faulty units. We considered as it is as a key performance indicators, which is known as KPIs. It used to access the performance of the firms after they adopted DA. So these indicators have been encapsulated in table 2, which I will show you in the upcoming slides. So upon being on these questions on the value of obtains, no, Wahid, just go back to the previous slide. I haven't completed the previous slide. Yes, thank you. So where I was, yes, upon being questions on the value obtained from adopting the BDA for each of above KPIs, each firm converged to 3 primary themes. So one is production time and operating expenses, customer satisfaction. So the completion of these responses is provided in table 2, even though not firms witness the same level of benefits in all KPIs. So each agreed consistent improvement being noticed across these factors. So I will show you the figure. Wahid, go to the next slide. So in this figure, you can see how planning, manufacturing, and quality assurance are divided and how they have been marked according to firm A, B, and C. So in this planning, you can see schedule and cost variance, capacity utilization, and in manufacturing, same process downtime, machinery efficiency, and waste reduction. And same as in quality assurance, the defective units and rejected units. So next slide, Wahid. As we compared this all firm A and B, the output from utilization of BDA in process of firm C was